your little kettle of a God who comes out only when I need him. I sit on the throne, or I don't sit anywhere near you. Whenever he identifies himself in our lives, it is to be God of our life and nothing else. And everything else will follow. So if you're gay, straight, it doesn't matter. It is, do you trust the God who made everything you and knows you better than anyone else to have the best plan for your life possible or not? Come to me, all who are weak and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. This is the story I'm going to end with. I got a goddaughter. Her name's Adelie. She's just beautiful. She's like knee-high to a grasshopper. She's just long, blonde, curly hair. And she's got an adopted brother from Ghana, and his name's Sammy, this little black guy with this awesome fro. Like, melts my heart thinking about these guys. I don't have kids, but it freaks me out how much I love them when they're not like my own flesh and blood, and how protective and how much I love these kids. Like, I see them like, as when they're with me, it's like, if you touch, I will murder your face if you ever hurt these kids. That's my deal, okay? That's how much I love these kids. So one day, Adelie's playing in the sandbox, and we're at a park in Irvine, and I hear the ice cream man coming, and I'm like, yes! This is awesome! My mom told me growing up that when the ice cream truck played music, it meant that they were out of ice cream. And which is just the meanest thing ever. I realized that wasn't the case. So the ice cream truck's pulling around, and I'm like, yes! I'm going to become the greatest uncle ever. They call me Uncle Chris. Okay? I'm like, I'm going to rock it right now. I know Adelie likes this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream cone with like bubblegum eyes. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Inside of the truck, and I point at it. She always wants that one. I'm like, I'm going to just change her world right now. So I flag the guy down. I'm like, I want this one and everything. And they're playing in the sandbox behind me. So I buy this thing, and they're expensive, right? You're like, whoa, I have to give you my left leg for this? So I pick it up, and I turn around, and I'm about to like change her world. And I'm like, I've got something so sweet for you. And I turn around. And in Adelie's mouth is the largest wad of sand and dirt I've ever seen in my life. Homegirl is chewing with that look on her face. Like when you eat something disgusting, your face is like so concerned. You're like you're not going to make it. What's her face look like. So I turn around and I'm like, here's your ice cream. Whoa, what are you doing? She's just like chewing on sand. I'm like, no, don't chew on the sand. That's gross. I got ice cream for you. So what do? I picked her up. And with one arm, I'm carrying a homegirl, and she's just like vomiting out this sand and everything. So I walk over to the drinking fountain, and I push down on it, and I'm washing out her mouth. And I'm getting the sand out of her mouth, and the whole time she's just bawling, okay, because she thinks I'm mad at her. But in reality, I'm not mad at her. I don't hate her. At no point in this whole exchange or anything else like that had I loved her any less. She is still my goddaughter. She is still someone that I would protect my life. It doesn't matter. Anything that it takes, I would give it up for this girl so she could even experience happiness. That's how much I love this kid. When she had sand in her mouth, when I was walking her over to clean it out, when I was cleaning it out, and now after cleaning it out. When she's crying, when she's kicking, when she's screaming, the whole process she's hitting me because she doesn't understand what I'm doing, but that's not the point. The point is, where I hadn't intended to put a delicacy, she had put sand. And my honest, earnest love for her is not going to look at her and be like, your mouth's full of sand. I'm going to withhold this ice cream from you. No, she's still my goddaughter at any given point, but I'm going to look at her and go, I want you to experience something better. I know that in your small, finite mind, the greatest thing in the world was to eat sand at this point, but that's not good for you. So I wash it out, and I don't love her any less, and in the end, she gets to experience the ice cream of the whole thing. And so no matter what you struggle with or what you've identified yourself as, God is saying, I want you to find your identity in me, because what you're doing right now is you're chewing on sand. If you're experiencing any life outside of identity in Him, if you're found as an idolater, greedy person, verbally abusive, homosexual, heterosexual, it doesn't matter, because His goal for you is not to be defined by those things, it's to be defined in Him. And that process is going to be one of washing out your mouth sometimes, and whatever that might take, because where He's intended delicacy, you put sand. And that's the God that I serve. He doesn't hate gay people. He loved them so much, He sent His Son to be a sacrifice, so that anyone who believes cannot perish but have eternal life. And now I don't talk about homosexuality for another year. Yes! Oh yeah, one more service. Frickin' A. 11 a.m. Just forget it. So we got shivs tomorrow night. Come learn how to ballroom dance from 7 to 9. If you guys need tickets, I know someone asked me this service if they need tickets.
I do.
Mrs. Johnson is in the back, and she can actually hook you up with those today, so you don't have to wait for tomorrow night. We will see you guys tomorrow night at the shivs.